everybody. My name is Nate Jarrell, and today we're going to be looking at a really great 2-5-1 line by the guitar player Julian Lage. Julian is a really unique player, has a really unique voice on the instrument, and although he is a jazz player, there's a real kind of Americana kind of a sound in what he does. Uses a lot of triad-based type of things in his compositions and his soloing, lots of open strings, play the Telecaster, lots of really interesting things that kind of meld both the Americana and even country kind of into the spectrum with the jazz world. And that's not totally out of the sort of lineage of jazz guitar players. You hear that a lot in Pat Metheny's playing, you hear that a lot in Bill Frisell's playing. Even people like Keith Jarrett have compositions that sort of lean in that direction. And so this is from his album Arclight, and he's playing on the standard I'll Be Seeing You, which is a really great tune, and it's a 2-5-1 in the key of E flat. So let's jump in and take a look at some really unique things that are going on in this line. Okay, over the 2 chord, the F minor chord, he starts out the line in a pretty interesting way. He's playing an open E on his 6th string to start this line, okay? And so he's playing the major 7 as his first note in the line over that F minor chord. From there, he goes right up the scale, okay? Root, 9, flat 3, okay? And then 5, the octave again of the root, the 9 again, and then interestingly, we've got this this flat 6 kind of a thing going on here. So that whole line is pretty unique for what you would normally play over the 2 chord. It actually has a lot more going on that's a harmonic minor type of sound. Whereas normally, if we were going to think of it in modal terms, we'd be thinking Dorian over a 2 chord. Because we have that major 7 that we start the line off with, and we also have the flat 6. Okay, so very much what you might hear in a harmonic minor type of sound, but he's playing that over the 2. So right off the bat, really interesting choice right there, okay? When we move to the 5 chord, he's going to play some augmented triads over the 5 chord, okay? So he starts that line, okay, with the 7th and the root. Now it's a little bit tricky coming out of the other line, fingering-wise, because the way you're going to want to grab that is going to be with your pinky, skip a string, go to your 3rd finger, okay? And then we move into these triad shapes. So if I play the beginning line moving into that slowly, I get this. Okay, so that's just a little bit of a tricky fingering. Might take a little bit of practice slowly to get that part down, okay? Now, from there, this is where we start to get the triad shapes. Okay, we get... That is a D augmented triad in 2 octaves played over this B flat 7 chord, okay? So when we play that, what we're getting by playing that D augmented triad off of the 3rd of the dominant chord that we're playing over, we're gonna get the 3rd of the chord, okay? We're gonna get the sharp 5, and we're gonna get the root. So we get a nice altered sharp 5 kind of a sound there by playing that triad. So one thing to note on this, okay, that is all a D augmented triad. If you look at it though, you could very easily look at the first part of that where he's starting from a B flat here. And if you play B, D, or B flat, sorry, D, F sharp, that's the same notes. So a B flat augmented triad and a D augmented triad are just kind of flipped inversions of each other, where we're going to get the same note. So you could look at it either way, but I was sort of viewing that as we've got the 7th is our starting note, the root, and then thinking of this as D augmented triads to get that sharp 5 sound, okay? So a really cool trick there for a little bit of an altered sound. Okay, let's take a look now at what he's doing on the 1 chord. So we've got, this is over an E flat major 7. He starts out on the and of 1 on the 7th of the chord. Okay, so he's playing a D there. And then he's got a a little triplet figure that happens after that. So we go, okay, we're just going from the major 7th, the 9th, back to the 7th, and to the root. And from there, it walks right up a major 7 arpeggio, just an E flat major 7. He's just spelling out the chord, okay? But we have a little bit of an interesting thing that happens after that. We get this other little triad figure, except this time, instead of the B flat being in the chord, it's a B natural, okay? Which is giving us the sharp 5 over this major chord. So he's really playing a G major triad for that last little triplet over this E flat chord, and we get that B natural, which is the sharp 5. Really interesting sound. And he closes it out right here on an F on the 9th. Now, I should point out, his line continues on from here in this measure. In this next measure in the tune, there's a 2-5 in C minor that he also continues the line to play over. I wanted to just focus on the 2-5-1 in E flat, so we're pausing right there, okay? But let's listen to that whole line over slowly over that major 7 chord so you can hear that in context and see what that sounds like. So we've got, and then he ends up on that 9, okay? So that sharp 5 is a really interesting sound over this major chord. Okay, some really interesting stuff there from Julian Lage. I suggest you check out the whole record, Arclight. It's got some incredible playing on it, really great compositions, really interesting choices, and he's just such a unique player. I will link to that all down below so you can go listen to that and hear the line from him in context as well, hear how he phrases it, all that good stuff. If you like this video, check out the other ones on the channel. Hit that subscribe button, and I will now play this one more time for you in context so you can hear the line one more time with the chords behind it. Thanks so much. Have a great day.